man and his pregnant wife are trapped by rapidly rising floodwaters.
Immediately, I started lowering my window on my side and telling my wife to lower hers.
It was a horrible feeling. I mean, once it was up to our lap, I mean, we were from the waist down underwater.
As the car begins to sink in the current, it passes a large tree. Art cannot swim.
Before I knew it, I was on the branch, reaching back for my wife's hand, and luckily she was there, because that was my biggest fear at that point, was that she wouldn't be right behind me. We knew that if we fell or we let go of the tree, we would probably be swept right away.
Are we going to have any better luck with the engine making access on the west side? We could probably use any unit over there.
Others in the wedding party have called for help, but it takes over half an hour of navigating the floods for Tim Stewart and his unit to reach Art and Marie.
Oh, and we do have people clinging to debris here.
And on arrival, we found the Reyes were in the tree screaming. Relatives were there telling us that she was 7 months pregnant. And they'd been already at that point had been in the water for over a half hour, so we knew that they were starting to get hypothermic.
We've got 2 people trapped in the brush, and we can't get to them. We cannot get to them.
I think at that time it really kind of sunk in that we had to actually go out there and physically get a hold of these people and get them off that tree.
Ropes and metal clips called carabiners are now the only link between life and death of everyone involved in this rescue. Tim's unit begins a maneuver called a conga line to stabilize the team in the fast-moving current.
I was the second rescuer in line. The water speed that evening was over 20 miles an hour. We actually were probing around to try and feel the ground underneath our feet.
But before they can reach the desperate couple, the team feels the river drop off.
They were still probably 10 to 12 feet away from us, so I knew they weren't going to get any closer, and they were going to have to do what they had to do from that distance.
Pregnant Marie's body temperature is dropping dangerously. Her husband must manage the ropes being thrown to them, put his wife in a life vest, and secure the rescue line to the tree.
You really had to look at your fingers and make sure that what you were trying to do with them is what your fingers were doing.
I couldn't feel my body anymore, and my body was just ready to really just let go. I had to keep looking at my hands to make sure that I had a closed fist.
Now, rescuers ask Art and Marie to take a leap of faith.
The biggest concern at that point was convincing her that we had a hold of the tagline and we needed her to get into the water.
With her husband's encouragement, Marie prepares to jump.
I got 1 foot over the branch, but my right foot was stuck within the branches and I couldn't get it loose. And my husband got it loose, and as soon as it got loose, I fell straight into the water.
She kind of went head first down underwater for maybe 1 or 2 seconds. For me, it seemed like a couple minutes.
Marie is pulled to safety. Exhausted and chilled to the bone, she's put on a stretcher and taken to the hospital. With his wife safe, it's finally Art's turn. He's never been in water over his head.
And took a very deep breath right before I jumped. And luckily, I didn't go underwater as much as my wife did, but I did feel the current, and the current pushed me really hard.
The rescuers bring Art to dry ground. After almost an hour in freezing water, a man's battle to save his family from flash flood is over. When we come back, an Army helicopter attempts to rescue a 12-year-old girl trapped in a Texas flood.